Out here, the ocean doesn't look like a place with language, just waves, wind, and endless blue. But listen closely, because under the surface, a pod of orcas is doing something scientists spent years trying to prove. They're not making random noise. They're exchanging information. One call, then a response. Another pattern, then the entire pod turns, perfectly synchronized, like they just received an instruction. Today, a hydrophone is in the water, the recorder is rolling, and what it captures isn't just clicks and whistles. It's structure, timing, repetition, a signature that shows up again and again, right before the pod changes direction, protects the calf, or starts a coordinated hunt. Stay with me, because once you hear what they heard, you'll never think of orcas as animals the same way again.
Orcas utilize highly structured sounds to exchange information, influencing the pod's formation and ensuring a successful cooperative hunt. These powerful marine predators rely on a sophisticated array of clicks and whistles, allowing them to coordinate hunts and Through a complex language of calls and whistles, the matriarch guides the pod, maintaining perfect synchronization across the open blue.
As the lead male emits a burst of bubbles, the pod responds. These structured sounds are key to their communication.
Through repeated, structured calls, the orca pod exchanges vital information, influencing their behavior and the synchronization of the group. The pod's synchronized movement is guided by a sophisticated exchange of structured calls, echoing through the ocean depths.
These structured sounds are the key to the orca's complex society. As they navigate the open ocean,
Through a series of rapid, structured clicks, the matriarch directs the pod, influencing their behavior and maintaining the group's cohesion.
These synchronized movements are no accident. They're the result of a complex exchange of information, a language unique to this family group.
These structured sounds are the key to the pod's unity, guiding their synchronized movements through the vast, open ocean.
Using a complex language of clicks and whistles, the orcas navigate the vast ocean, moving as one cohesive unit. The pod moves as one, guided by a sophisticated symphony of structured sounds. This complex exchange of
Orcas communicate through repeated, structured sounds, allowing them to coordinate their movements and formations across the vast open ocean.
Through repeated, structured sounds, including rapid clicks and whistles, the pod exchanges information, influencing their synchronized movements. Through repeated, structured calls, the matriarch guides the pod, influencing their formation and behavior. The pod's synchronized movement is no coincidence. Through a sophisticated exchange of information, they maintain this incredible cohesion. These repeated, structured sounds are the key to their unity, a complex exchange of information that allows the pod.
Orcas rely on a sophisticated language of clicks and whistles to coordinate their movements. This exchange of information.
The synchronized movements of these pods are no accident. They communicate through a complex series of clicks and whistles, coordinating their every move. In the deep blue, the orca's world is defined by sound. Their calls are not random, but a structured dialogue. Deep beneath the waves, the whales exchange information, their calls influencing the behavior and formation of the entire group. These apex predators navigate the open ocean using a complex array of structured sounds. Echolocation. Through repeated, structured sounds, the pod exchanges vital information, influencing their behavior and hunting formations. These powerful vocalizations, a complex language of clicks and whistles, allow the pod to coordinate their movements precisely.
Just like driver and balloon. The synchronization seen here is no accident. It is the result of constant command.
These repeated, structured sounds are crucial. They allow the pod to exchange complex information in
Agents. These powerful matriarchs lead the pod, their movements synchronized through a complex series of clicks and whistles.
These structured sound bursts allow the orcas to exchange vital information, influencing the pod's behavior and formation in real time.
These structured bursts of sound are not merely greetings. They are commands, directing the pod's movements within.
These structured sounds, a complex language of clicks and whistles, allow the pod to coordinate their movements with astonishing precision.
The synchronized movement of the orca pod is no accident. It is the result of a sophisticated communication.
Exchanging information through structured sounds allows the pod to influence behavior and maintain tight formation, vital for these apex predators.
Traveling in tight formation, the pod relies on a sophisticated exchange of structured sounds, a language that defines their collective behavior. Orcas navigate their world through a complex web of clicks and whistles. These structured sounds allow the pod to coordinate their every.
These structured sounds are essential for coordinating the pod. They exchange information, influencing the precise movements we observe.
Synchronized movement is key to the pod's success. They exchange structured sound sequences, coordinating their formation with incredible precision. The matriarch guides the pod, using a series of complex clicks and whistles. This structured soundscape allows.
Through a complex system of structured sounds and synchronized movements, the pod exchanges vital information. Orcas rely on a complex system of clicks and whistles to communicate. This structured vocalization allows the pod to move as one cohesive unit. The pod's synchronized swimming is no coincidence. It's the result of highly structured acoustic communication, their very own dialect of the sea.
Through repeated, structured calls, the pod coordinates its movements, demonstrating a remarkable level of social cohesion.
Deep in the open ocean, the pod moves with a unified purpose. They communicate constantly.
Moving in near-perfect synchronization, the pod relies on a sophisticated exchange of calls to maintain their formation across the open ocean.
The structured sounds exchanged between the pod members directly influence their behavior, allowing for this incredible synchronization.
These structured sounds, a complex language of clicks and whistles, allow the pod to synchronize their movements perfectly across the open ocean. As the pod tightens its formation, the matriarch sends a series of rapid, structured clicks. It is this complex. These structured calls are essential. They allow the pod to coordinate complex movements, like this synchronized V formation.
The orca pod communicates through a complex series of clicks and whistles, sounds that dictate their movement and maintain the communication is key to the pod's cohesion. These structured calls allow them to coordinate hunts and maintain formation across vast distances.
The synchronized movement of the pod is no accident. It is the result of a complex exchange of structured sounds.
As the research vessel observes from above, the pod synchronizes their movements, guided by a sophisticated exchange of structured sound. These structured calls are not merely greetings. They are complex exchanges of information, allowing the pod to influence. These magnificent predators utilize a sophisticated array of clicks and whistles, allowing them to coordinate their movements